Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move this week. With us is Isabel Lee, Bloomberg News cross-asset reporter, joining us here in the Bloomberg Business Week studio. Let's start with one that's been all over the place today, Tesla.
This is interesting. I feel like it's been a roller coaster. We started off the day with Tesla in the red, and people were gloomy because they had their vehicle sales slumped to the lowest since 2022. It was down 13%, and a lot of people were saying, oh my gosh, this is going to be the beginning of the unraveling of everything. And then at 11:17, Politico published a news saying that Elon Musk will be stepping back from work in the Trump administration. And at 11:19, you see shares edging higher, and now it's up by nearly 6%. And you can see the Tesla investors are really just shrugging off any of those fears and just hoping that Elon Musk will have more time for the company.
We should note that Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, pushed back on this. In a tweet, she said, this scoop, in quotes, is garbage.
Yes.
Elon Musk and President Trump have both publicly stated that Elon will depart from public service as a special government employee when his incredible work at Doge is complete. The market, though, seems to think that his days at Doge could be numbered because shares did not move down after she sent that note.
Exactly. And there is that. But the note is also interesting because it didn't really say anything definitive. I mean, the note just said...
She said it's garbage.
There is that.
Like, this is when you start to parse words. Like,
I mean, I would think that if you say something's garbage, it would be incorrect.
There's a lot of garbage out there. That's true.
All right. Now
I'm just going to say. But we don't know.
We're talking
we don't
semantics
know.
here, I think.
We're going to get in trouble. Let's talk about Newsmax. Man, this is a story we've talked about a lot over the last, what is it now? It's third day of trading. It has soared more than 2,000% yesterday and the day of its IPO. Different trade today.
Different. It's down by 70%, which is eye-popping if you think about it, if you look at it in isolation, but not really if you see the 2,000% surge during the first 2 days of its trading as a public company. And honestly, it's still up by around 1,000% from its $10 offer price. But still, shares were cut in half today after a really spectacular two-day rally. And it really just cemented itself as a meme stock now because a lot of retail investors were the ones piling into the stock.
Did you look at the market cap?
Yeah,
Remember, it was above. What
it was close to $30 billion as of yesterday.
Right.
Now it's down to $8.2 billion,
Yeah.
which is still, that's like a Paramount size market cap, roughly. New York Times company market cap,
for
roughly.
a while it was bigger than Fox. So can you believe?
No, I mean, I think people would argue it's not one that's necessarily has been trading on fundamentals, which is why you called it a meme stock.
I mean, if you scroll through a lot of the social media platforms, they would say it's the new GameStop, touting just the really easy returns. Can you imagine if you invested on Monday, how much you will have? Even today,
you're right. You're
with
still
the
up
stock
a
down
lot.
70%.
You're still up a lot, but it's just the volatility and the swings, and it's really kind of interesting because volume, I feel like it's kind of an interesting one to watch in terms of the trades because it's kind of slow.
Volume is also what we watch in the ETF world because that's where you see the movement of money. But it just reminds you of really the meme stock craze in 2020 and 2021. And that was exciting. So this again, because
was it really?
It was exciting to
I
cover.
guess if you're a cross-asset reporter, it's exciting.
Ask the institutional reporters who were like, what is this thing?
That is fair. But then, now you see that IPOs are really a dud. So it's an anomaly out there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. TBD on this one. I keep saying mid-May, we're going to get their earnings and we're going to pick apart that balance sheet. And listen, it may be incredible, right? But we'll find out what the business really is. I always feel like that's your great gut checks.
All right, Isabel, finally, Amazon, a company that's on your radar today. Is it because of the TikTok news, potentially?
There are two headlines related to that. So first is that we have New York Times reporting that the e-commerce giant is really just swooping in with last-minute offer to buy TikTok. TikTok has several offers, like from Oracle, but some people are saying it's not really serious, and you see Oracle shares didn't really budge after this news. Another headline is Amazon saying it will launch the first batch of satellites to power its, quote, Internet from Space initiative.
This is Project Kuiper?
As soon as April 9th. Yes.
This is long delayed. This is big news.
Yes, it's very big news, and the business dominating that today is SpaceX Starlink. So again, another Elon Musk thread in there. But that's great news for Amazon, and that's why shares are probably popping 1.5%.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, right? I mean, great. It's turned out to be a pretty decent business, right? For
SpaceX, it's been amazing.
SpaceX,
but we'll see if Amazon can actually hold a candle to what SpaceX
it's getting a little crowded up there, though.
It is, but I feel like you deliver internet connectivity to companies, governments, to consumers. There's a little bit of purpose driven in that. I mean, you see it.
I use Starlink. I've got a Starlink.
Really?
Yeah. Like people who are, out on, RVs or boats.
Oh, that's
Use it on your RV?
On my RV. Vroom, vroom. No, that's a motorcycle. No, but yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, and there's different layers in terms of use. So, yeah, maybe on my RV. Would you have a problem with that?
No, that's cool.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.